Hello there guys, welcome back to the e-bike repairs YouTube channel. My name's Darsh and I take apart and fix very fun, exciting stuff, e-bikes, batteries, scooters, all that good stuff. I've got in this, it's a FLX. They've rebranded to something else, I forgot what. I think, is it called the Widowmaker? I think. Yeah, not sure. So, this bike has a problem with the, I believe, the freehub assembly. So we've got a Gates carbon drive on this one, which looks in acceptable condition, I suppose. I'm not an expert on belt wear, it's probably fine. What this does, you can pedal backwards, but you can also pedal forwards. Something's not right. Yeah, that's not meant to be like that. So the freehub is doing nothing, or something inside there is not right. Now, I'm going to get this cleaned off because that's yucky. And I will get the wheel off the bike. We're going to open up this whole area, see what's going on. Okay, so I got the wheel off anyway. BABYMAKER, not Widowmaker, that was it. And I've cleaned this up a little bit. We can see our thing here. We've got a lot of play in this bearing. I'd imagine the freehub bearings are completely shot, so there's a lot of wiggle in that. I've actually got to the point now where it's showing just a tiny bit of ability to do its job. He says. There. It's actually moving the wheel now. But I'm sure the freehub's completely shot. Let's continue stripping this apart, see what we've got. So to undo these, first of all I took off this 19mm axle nut, then the tab washer, then the thinner of these two 17mm nuts. This one's thinner than that one. They were that way. And then the thicker one. Now I can get my cassette lock ring tool in there. Pop this bad boy out. It's impossible to show you this without the tripod, but holding this with a cloth, and I've got my ridiculously large 1/2 inch impact on there, and it just whizzed it straight off. I can't unfortunately hold all these to show you, but straight off. And don't wait for it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Here's ready for some good camera work. There. No, I can't hold it. It comes off anyway. There's that off. So cassette tool out, lock ring off. Then we can get our gear off. There we go. Got a spacer there. And the gear itself. These basically never wear out. They're pretty good. Now you can see the cause. Rust. Water's got in there. When I spun this round, loads of horrible rusty has come out. Just there. Nasty. Quite clearly, this had suffered from the elements of it. I think that's just a spacer sleeve from a bog standard normal cassette. This would probably come off if I tapped this around enough. This part here, this sleeve, I think would just go up that way. Maybe if I get a little screwdriver in there, I could demonstrate that. No, I can't right now. I need a little bit of tapping. But yeah, you see the corrosion problem. The amount of play on this shaft is bearings have had it. Oh, there's one little click out the balls. Let's pop this open and have a little look. I think we've got, yep, another spacer here. Let's just try and pull that off. There's that spacer there. That comes next. All these things are a bit gross and want cleaning up. But yeah, and then you can see the true amount of play in the end of that. It's not good. Focus. Here's the spacer about to come off anyway. There's that. That's aluminium, so it's not really suffered too much. And there's our freehub Tower of Doom. So let's get this undone, motor apart. I think this side cover is going to unscrew. I'm pretty sure there's a seam right there. I'll need my special tool to undo these, put it in, get it all undone. Okay, so I've got those 3 Phillips head screws out, and this is my tool to undo the side covers of these motors. It's basically a round bit of alley. 1, 2, 3. These are just like M3, M4 studs, but they line up with those holes, so that can go on there like that. And then I can put this in the vise, the block in the vise, and just rotate the wheel with all its leverage, and that's going to pop the side cover straight off. It unscrews, can't remember which way, but it unscrews one of the ways. So I've got that tool on there in the vise, and I've undone the first bit. It unscrews that way, whatever way you want that to be. Oh, excuse the piles of crap everywhere. That'll undo there, and this seam here is going to start to undo and get bigger. We'll be able to see inside. There it goes. We should have a loose side cover. Ta-da! There it goes. You can see the freehub assembly in here, or clutch assembly, or whatever bit it is, and we'll be able to take this apart because this is where our problem is. As for inside the motor, we've got good condition. It's looking pretty nice in there. I'll check it over, of course, for broken teeth and all that lot, but it's probably fine. I'll be surprised if there's anything wrong with it, but I'll check it over, make sure it's all good. But this is what we've got to work on now. Let's go to the desk. Okay, right, we're over here now. I see. First of all, there's a little shim here, which I'm going to put on the axle on the motor, so I don't lose that. Then I won't forget where that is. We've got our internal bearing, which is a C&U 50A07. Got another number that says 023, and then the important one, 61902RS. Hopefully you can see that. That is 61902RS. So yeah, we've got that. Now I think underneath this ring gear lives the clutch assembly, I'm pretty sure. Haven't been in one of these before. It's not that size. Want a Posi 1. Pop these out, there'll be some spring things that are going to explode and go everywhere in an annoying fashion. But I don't know how to get to the freehub, so we're finding out together. It's not that size either. One moment, please, as Big Clive says. That's more like it. That's a Posi 1, or Phillips head 1. And the grease in this motor looks like it's in pretty good nick, to be honest. Don't see any issues. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I need to undo this? I think I don't. I'm sure I've done this before. They're the little things for the clutch here. I think I don't need to undo this. This just pops out of the side casing. Yes, I'm pretty sure that it does. When I say pretty sure, I mean quite certain. In fact, I've been here before. That's not a necessary step. I'm sure it just comes out. Or is that holding it into the side cover? Oh, let me check. My brain has too many bicycle parts floating around inside it. I can never remember. Is this holding it into the side cover, or does this just hold this on? Let me have an inspection. That's what it looks like in there anyway. No, I think this is separate. and a good bash will push this whole free hub out. But I don't want the little springs to go everywhere. So I'm going to put this back. Oh, that's the wrong one. Stop being covered in grease. And you want the smaller holes because the screw won't fit in the big hole anyway, so it's not those ones. Right. No, is it not like that? I really thought it just popped out. I'm bringing life back to this stupid broken free hub though. I'm sure it just pops through. I'm sure I had one out before, and this whole part. There. Ah, there you go. That pops out. And then those are underneath there. And you keep this that bloody way up, because otherwise the little spring things pop out, the round jobbies. Right pain in the bum to put back. Okay, right, so now we're at the free hub tower, and it looks as though the problem isn't with this upper bearing, which spins really nice and doesn't seem to have any play in it here. Looks as though the problem is with the lower bearing. So not this one here, which is the drive bearing, but there'll be a bigger one in here. Now, does any of this separate, come apart, come off? Anything like that? Or am I going to have to pull this bearing and then it's race to get in here? There's a part number. YH-DV 15.6. Might be a 5 after that. Okay, there's a little dust seal under here. I could try and get to. Let's have a pick at that with a pick. See if this dust seal comes out easily. I'm just levering on this very slowly because I don't want to damage it if possible. There's that. Just keeps the dust out. Right, then we're looking at this bearing. Oh yeah. Wow. A lot of play in that. I've had success in the past just flushing all the old grease out of here with brake clean. Or you could submerge it in petrol and dissolve it all, I suppose. And then refilling it with grease, and it worked because there's pools inside here which will be stuck. I've always wondered how you take one apart. I've never been able to figure it out. I wonder if you've got to take this bearing out. Let's say if I'm taking the bearing out, I'm replacing it anyway. So I'm going to smash on it with a hammer instead of using the bearing puller like I'm supposed to. Interestingly, the bearing seems fine. It says 6901 RS in there. Hopefully it's focusing, but 6901 RS. Anyway, let's try having that bearing out. See if we get anywhere. Who knows? Maybe we will. I'm going to use my world's largest hammer and some punches. Well, maybe just one punch. I can just tap one side then the other and drive it out. Feels like she's coming. There you go, she's out. There's our little bearing. It's fine. Right. Free hub wise, okay. I see 2 notches. I bet it unscrews or screws up or something to get into all that. Doesn't explain the incredible amount of play, unless it always had that amount of play. Just feels like a lot. So notches wise, they're full of grease at the moment, so you can't see them, but There's one notch just there. The pick goes down into it, and one notch on the opposite side here. I wonder if you need a special tool, a freehub tool. You see the notches? There's one just there, or one on the opposite side over there. I don't think I own the tool that would undo this. But yeah, there's some life coming back to it, see? It's obviously not smooth. It wants, probably, its bearing sounds knackered. I'd imagine there's a bearing at the base. Which is probably what takes all the torque. Yeah, I think I'm going to need some kind of tool to undo that. I wonder what I'd have that would go in there and I could wiggle that part round on. Almost want something a bit like this, but a bit wider, that go across the two. A T-piece that I could put in the vise, and then I could turn the whole thing that way or that way and give me a bit of leverage. I'm going to have to come up with something, or ask the internet if they sell a freehub tool. I don't know. Not being successfully inside one of these yet. I just flushed it out and refilled it and it worked, but we'll get to that. Right, I have updates. There is a tool. It's this thing. It's a two-pronged tool. This thing has a reverse thread on it, so it undoes that way. Like clockwise, it undoes. That was in there, and that was on there. So that undoes. Great, fantastic. You buy the tool. This one wasn't quite the right size, but I hit it with a hammer and it fit. So, sure. You could probably buy the right size one, but such a thing exists. Two prongy things. This goes through there. A little wing nut and a washer on the back to sort of hold it all in place. It would appear, unless you can clamp a round object in your vise, so maybe you have a fractal vise or something, it's just about impossible without my undoing tool here, because you have to hold this steady. Oh, off go the pulls. You have to hold this steady, and not being able to hold it steady is you just can't get the leverage on it that you need. Now, one in good condition might be very easy to take apart. This one obviously is seeing the walls a bit. So, what we've got is there were bearings. These bearings in this little pot here were all around the lower race here. And then we've also got some more bearings inside the upper race here, which would seat against the cone of this part of that locking joey that I've taken off. Now, the problem here is that our pulls, it should be able to go back and forth. Now, obviously, all the grease is dried up and it's manking, it's nasty, and it's horrible. That's fine. Okay, we can clean it off and re-grease it. What I don't think we can do is replace the metal ring. It's completely rusted away. That's just about all that's left of it. There's supposed to be like a retaining ring that goes around them, or it pushes them out. I can't remember what it does anyway, because I'm not looking at one that's in good condition. So this one has just rotted away. See, you can just about see it there. It goes around here, through there, but that's all that's left of it. Those two bits. And it's supposed to go through that slot in the middle of the jobby here, and I think it springs the pulls out. It forces them out, so that as that goes past the indentations on this bad boy, please don't fall out, bearings. As that goes past all these little debris on the inside, if you can see that, hopefully you can see that. That's what goes clack, 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 clack as you go past. Unfortunately, the thing that provides pressure for these to be pushed outwards and go clack, 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 clack doesn't exist. It's rotted away. A bit rusty. There's just sort of vague evidence of it existing once upon a time. So in this case, I'm going to say not rebuildable. It feels quite worn. Also, this one's obviously seen the walls a bit. What you can do, thankfully, is buy a whole new side cover with the freehub tower already installed. That's new. Now it probably wants taking apart and packing with grease properly. I wonder how well this was packed with grease. It might be fine from factory, but maybe it's not, and maybe that's what causes this. The bike had, I can't remember, 3,000 kilometers or 5,000 kilometers on it, so quite a high mileage. Obviously for a bike it's quite high, but not, you know, inconceivable. But freehubs need to be serviced. So if this has just been, you know, it's a wear item, if this is your headset bearings, you'd have it out, you'd strip the bike apart, you'd replace the grease yearly or 1,000 miles or whatever it is. Before this happened, you wouldn't just keep riding it till something breaks. So the bike really should have gone in for a service. The play in the freehub would have been felt earlier, and it would have been stripped down and rebuilt probably at a time when it would have been fine. But here we are. It happens. The motor is an Aikema, AIKEMA. AKM-13.0 is the part number. Don't know how well I'll be able to show you this because the wheel's a bit big, but let's see if I can come into frame. You see that? Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but there we go. So that answers that. We need to go to the website of the people that sell these things. They're not called SLX or FLX anymore. They're called something else, but anyway, one of those needs to be ordered. New hub, new freehub tower, all put back together, motor put back together, the bike will be good to go again. Or that part of the bike will be good to go again. I'd imagine if this bearing's gone, a lot of the rest of it has not been touched, so we shall see. Thanks for watching. If this helped anybody out, please feel free to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. It's $99 a month, so US. I get a very tiny amount of that, but it does inspire me to keep making these videos. Thanks. Bye-bye.